Hello Aarti, nice to have you on board the Global Edge School as a child psychologist. I have this question which generally many parents all over have and ask. They don't know how to manage. They keep saying that when I'm trying to correct my child, my in-laws or my parents come over and interfere. So there's a conflict in the way we send a message to our child. How do we manage it? We are not able to handle it. What advice would you give as a child psychologist?
First of all, I wouldn't give the advice, ma'am, because I don't normally like to do that. But also, I would like to understand parents and generally adults to understand that many of the psychology books that are written with a very Western perspective, where they are not relationship oriented but task oriented. So in many of the Western books that you read, which are very popular as well, they're task driven parenting. So if you want your child to eat, then do this, make a chart, give stars, that kind of thing. We are basically relationship based cultures, and therefore the relationship will be in the forefront no matter what. In which case, the way in which we handle our parenting has to be very, very careful. The first thing we need to understand is that our relationship with our child, so if I'm the mother and I have a child, my relationship with my child has to be secure, very responsive from my side, and extremely attuned. Attuned meaning I understand what my child is really asking for and I respond in the most appropriate way. If this is built, no matter who interferes, I will have no problem. Usually what happens is, in many of these structures, the parent is not attuned, not responsive to the child's needs, and is used to controlling, using threats, using ultimatums all the time, which are task oriented. In relationships, there are no ultimatums. In relationships, there are communications. Right? If I want to get something done with you, I'm not going to give you an ultimatum. If you don't do this, I'll leave you. Then that's not a healthy relationship. On the other hand, I say, this is something that you did and I'm not okay with it. I'd like to rework it. So in this case, I'm willing to see you as an equal and work with you on it. So in parenting, that's a very important space. But when I go only from control and I want to immediately get things done, the child says, I'm not able to get it with her. Will I be able to get it with my grandmother? So this kind of manipulation starts because of the inherent inability of the parent to respond effectively to the child's needs. So here I'm not going to bring in in-laws, parents, because trying to demonize anybody's role in the child's life is actually detrimental to the child's well-being. We need to understand grandparents are very important in a child's life, and if we are unable to work with them, it will be ideal. In the ideal case scenario, we all speak the same voice, we have strict rules and everybody is following the same thing. There are many times that may not happen, and if there is a possibility, as an adult, I may need to sit down with them and discuss, can we do it this way? Sort of don't time it when there's already a conflict. Choose a good time to work with the child and work with the adults involved and things like that. If all of this still, whatever I do doesn't work, then the best way to take it forward is to let the child nurture whatever relationship they have with their grandparent. Let them figure out an equation there where no one's interfering with each other's way of working with the child. Because ultimately in a child's life, every relationship is equally important.
Thank you. It's a very important aspect. Joint family system happens. Thank you, Aarti.